everyone, it's Dali here. This is the second part of the Vintage Notes collection videos. So we're working through how to make the double journal kit. So I already showed you how to make the outside covers in our last video. So I've still got to finish it, but I just showed you how to do that. So you need to go to part 1 if you want to see this part of it. Okay, now inside the journal you can make different size A5 quads, which is what I've done, but you can also make different sizes, and we will be showing those on our Facebook group, Dali Art Market and Friends, Pip Art Creations and Friends. So if anybody wants to join our Facebook groups, then obviously you need to go there to watch these, our live online free workshops as well. So don't forget to subscribe to the newsletter on our website, so that you can have the latest in any of the free workshops we're doing, but any of the online workshops we're doing, so that you can learn lots of techniques and hopefully use them with lots of other products as well. Okay, so let's have a look what we're going to be doing today. So we're going to be doing the A5 layout. I'll show you how to make one of these. Okay, so this is a 4-page quad. It's what we call our A5 4-page quads. And basically the way these work is it's based on 2 A4 sheets, and then you've got some flaps in there. And I'm just going to talk you through some of these today and show you how to start to make the bases, so that when you start using your papers, you've got that information. Okay, so there's lots of bits to this one. This one's even bigger. It's an A4 quad template, but with lots of other bits. So you can see, so I'm going to be showing you just the bases of this, okay? So you've got that. And then you can decorate it to your heart's content, yeah? There we go. So absolutely beautiful. Now I just want to show you, we've also done a workshop using, and it's still available because we keep the recordings, was the rustic Paris one. Now I want to show you how different a pad can look. An A4 quad can look. Just say A5, sorry. Quad can look when you use a different set of papers. So you look at this, and then you look at this one. Look at them, they're totally different, yet the same basis for the same concept. So let me go through the Paris one as well. So I know a lot of you have also built the rustic Paris. So again, you can make pockets, you can make these beautiful sort of fold downs, tags in here. So again, based on a very, very, very similar concept to what we're going to be doing to show you the layout. So you can just see here, it really is up to you how you want to do this. And then obviously you've got the reverse of this as well, where you can do again different elements. You've got all of these areas where you could be putting photos. Again, really beautiful albums. And again, I'll put the link in for the online workshop for this, and then we send you the workshop link, and then you just make it in your own time, and you get the pad with it, with a few embellishments. So that's just to show you that you can do this, obviously not just out of the papers that we've given you, the vintage collections that you bought, but you can be doing them out of lots of other ones. Okay, so that was that one. And we have done it out of Summer Bloom as well, so just to let you know. Now if you're looking at making it larger, then you can keep going and making it larger. Now this is a 6-page A5 album, so it really just depends how you want to be doing that. Okay, so this was from the actual vintage collection, so I just wanted to share those with you. So how do we go about making this? So the best way to do this, I find, is we really want to make the album so that it's however you want to make it really, but this is a way of making it to fit into this double journal. This could be any sizes, and I will be doing other online workshops to show you how to do that. But for this A5 one, what you need to start yourself off on a basic A5 journal is 3 pieces of cardstock. Now, I've chosen black. You could choose any colour, so it could be your craft card, it could be a beige basis, it could be whatever you want it to be. So it's really important that you choose what you want it to be, yeah? So that's important. A few of you have asked also, which stamps have I used for place the photo here, and some of these handmade stamps. This is a pip art stamp. It's called Handmade with Love. It can be used for so many different things. So I would say that if you haven't got this already, a must have if you're an album maker. Okay, where do I start? So let's put one piece aside. Let's just get the 2. So this is what's going to make our concertina effect. Now, what I do, this is the way I do it. Again, you can do it whatever way you want to do it. Is I score at 1/2 inch on the shorter edge of the A4. That's it. Okay, that's all the scoring for this little bit here. Then what I do is I just I do put a fold in there, and what I do is then you can do it a couple of ways. You can either stick it down like this, or the other way you can do it is if you've just got this here, fold it over. So you've got your 1/2 inch score here, and then stick this down so that it's all level, which is the way I do it. So all you've done is scored at 1/2 inch on the shorter side, and then you're taking your second sheet. So I'm going to put the glue onto the scored bit, and then I'm going to join these 2 bits together. Again, it's up to you how you want to do this. You could score it and lay it down and do it. All I want to do is I want to make the bases for my book. So all I do is line those up. Okay, it's probably hard to see on black cardstock. Hopefully I'm not moving. I think in my first video we had a slight movement in it, so I apologise for that. So, and that is all you need to do. That is one of the hardest bits we're going to do today. Okay, what you'll find is that you will have a little tab left over on this side. Obviously, I don't know if you can see that. Yeah? So we're just going to cut this down so it's level. That's what I prefer to do. Okay? So all I'm doing is I'm just going to cut it down so that both pieces are exactly the same. Okay? That's it. So now when you open this out, you've got this big sheet. Now you could use a similar concept to make this even bigger. You could use a similar concept to make it smaller. So it really is up to yourselves. So then what I do is I fold to the centre, okay, of that sheet, because that's where your fold line is. So I just fold that. I take the other side and I fold that also. Just make sure that you're roughly... Now you could score these if you've got thicker cardstock, and then that one will fold anyway. So now what you've got, so all I've done is I've stuck 2 A4 sheets together. Okay, oops, 2 A4 sheets together. Then I've brought the edges in to meet to the centre. It's the easiest way I can explain it. Okay. Then what you'll get, and depending on how you want your book to be, so what we want it to be is we want it to open like this. We want that one to fold like this, and then this one, and I'll show you exactly what I'm doing. Okay, so again, it really depends how you want your book to fold. So let me show you when we've got one here, the one we've done. So this is where we've got to so far. So you've got this bit here, okay? So this is all we've done. We've done this layout already. Now, that one would fold like this. Then this one would fold like this. And then you've got the last one. So, and that's all you need to do. Now let me show you how that looks when it's all folded. So, folded, folded, and folded. So let me show you. It looks like an M. So mountain, valley, and mountain. That's all you have to remember. Okay, just make sure you've got it the right way, because otherwise it'll be an upside down book. Now, if you're going to be adhering it into your bigger album, then you would need one side, whichever side you choose, the front or the back, it's up to you, you'd need that to be stuck in your book. So let me show you what I mean. So on this one, I decided just to Velcro it into the book. Okay, so that just Velcros into my book, and I'll be showing you this on part 3, how this goes to the next stage. Okay, so that Velcros into the book, and that's one way of doing it. Now on this side, when I did it on this side, I also Velcroed it into the book, but you could glue it to these bits. But on this side, what I did, because I decided to Velcro the back bit, I didn't actually cover it. Now that's up to you if you want to cover it. Now you could do this with magnets as well. So if you didn't want anything showing like this when you took it out, that could have been a magnet, and then a magnet on your actual board. So there are lots of ways of doing it. It depends on how you want to do it. Now I did this so that I could show everybody exactly how that works. So what you would do is take your last piece, in this case my last piece, and I have stuck it down. You could do it with your first piece or your last piece and it would work. Okay? So when you're decorating, it's up to you whether you want to leave the last piece blank or if you don't. I prefer to cover it, because when you then open this out and you're showing somebody like this, you've actually got both pieces covered. So you've got that bit covered as well. So you haven't got a black piece of card. Now, say if you were just doing this as a standalone album, which it can be, by the way, easily can be a standalone album, which a lot of you I know have made them as standalone albums, then it's nice to have a back sheet and not have a Velcro, obviously. But if you want to make it like with Velcro or without that, it's up to you. Or you could use magnets. Yeah. So there's a few options there for you. On the Paris one, just so I can show you. Again, we actually decorated all of it. So all 4 pieces are decorated on this side, and all 4 pieces are decorated on this side. Okay. So it's really up to you. I'm going to decorate all 4 pieces again because I actually like that look, but it gives you an idea. We also did it in Summer Bloom, a slightly different way, but again the 4 pages decorated all the way around the back. We haven't got this anymore, this paper, as a book, but if anybody wanted extras I could always put one together of the extra papers. Okay, so anybody's got any questions, just let Pip or I know and we will try and do our best to help. Okay, I do need to stick this little flower down before I lose it totally. Let's tuck it in there. Okie dokie. So we're already got our little M. Okay, just have a drink. Too early to have anything. Wine clock, but oh god, I could do with something. Okay, so that is our first part of our album. Very, very easy. Okay, now the next part, I make this just as easy. What I do is I score at 4 inches. Score at 4 inches, sorry, cut at 4 inches. Yeah, I can score at 4 inches if it helps as well. So I'm going to do 4 inches and 4 inches. And this is going to create 2 of my flaps. Okay. So that's one of my flaps. Now, if you want to keep your flap the other side just a bit bigger, you can do. It's not a problem. In fact, let's leave it. Let's leave them so you could have either halved them or you could do 2 the same. Okay? So let's just leave the 2 cards. I'm going to do 4 inch and then the remainder is still there. That way we're not wasting any card stock. Okay, so what happens next is I always work with about a 1/2 inch score line. I find that that's more than enough. So on the short side, just do 1/2 inch on one end on both the pieces. Okay? There you go. And that's all you're doing. And then fold those over. Just to give you that score mark. Okay? And I will show you how this bit works. So now, this bit, it's up to you where you want to put them. What I tend to do is, you can put them either to the side, or you can put them to the top, or you can put them to the bottom. Now, do your score line, fold it over, and bring the bottom of that sheet to that scored line. So what you're doing is you're getting one of these. Okay? Do the same with the other one. Could I have 2 sheets then? And then fold that up. Okay? You've got 2 there. Okay, so to show you in this, so that you've got a better idea of what I'm talking about. Hold on. So this is one of those flaps. So this is one of those that I've just done for you. Okay, there's another one here. But it's another one here, but it's to the other side. Okay, so it's got a magnet on it. So it's just to the other side. So you can either have them coming down like this, you can either have them coming in like this, or you can have them obviously this way and this way. So you're already creating so much dimension in your pad already. Okay. So that shows you that bit. Now, if you want to also create a waterfall feature, like I did on TV, let me just show you. So again, there's that flap. This is the 4 inch one. There's that flap. Let me move that up. There you go. Okay. Now, if you want to create one of these, which is really beautiful to do, so that means you can put your photos here. Then what you would do is, I've used like a 3, basically, I'll just measure that for you. So I believe I've used 3 inches basically. So, yeah. So I've done it 3 inches wide, and I've done it 3.5 inches long, because my 1/2 inch is going to give me the score line. Okay, so let's make one of these waterfall features as well, because I think everybody's always wondering, oh, how does it look so perfect? And if you're new to it, I know a lot of you aren't new to it. If you're new to it, you might want to know that. Okay, so the easiest way I do sometimes tend to score my cardstock before I cut it sometimes, but just to let you know, if you're going to do 3 inches, then just score at 3 inches. So then that way, okay, and one page you're going to get 2 lots. Okay, so And that's lengthways again at 3 inches. Okay. And then what we're going to do is, let's take this first bit off because this is definitely not 3 inches. Okay, so now we're going to do that score that I've talked about at 3 inches. So you're going to have 2 lots of 3 inches from an A4. Okay. Now don't forget to join our Facebook group, Deli Art Market and Friends, or Pip Art Creations, if you want to learn a bit more. Now what we're going to do is we're now going to cut these into 3-inch strips, 3.5-inch strips from the length. Okay, let me show you what I mean by that. So at the moment we've got A4 cardstock cut at 3 inches. Now what we're going to do is we're going to do a 3.5 inches till we run out of cardstock, basically. Okay. Just make sure I've cut it at 3.5. Always good to check because obviously everybody else is. Just make sure I'm on the right bit, because sometimes, you know, when you look at these cutting machines, you can't always tell, and that's why sometimes what I end up doing initially is actually scoring the cardstock, because I know that on the scorer I'm going to be right. So that's why sometimes I do it that way as well. But this is going to give me, as long as they're all the same size, it's going to be fine. Okay, so they're obviously going to look like rectangles because we're going to do now we're going to do 1/2-inch scores just on the shorter end, and that's all we're going to do. So that's 1, there's 2, oops. So all we're doing is the 1/2-inch scores, 3, 4, 5. So we've got 6 pieces there. That'd be nice, actually, 6. Okay, so once you've done your, basically you've got your 3.5, 3 by 3.5. So if you find that you've got anything that's slightly bigger, like these 3 look bigger to me, obviously I've cut it slightly different, but that's fine as well. Okay, so we can always cut that down. If you ever find that you've done that, so for example, I can see that the card I would have cut as my second card isn't as, I think it's a bit thicker. So what I'm going to do, see, this does happen because obviously cardstock sometimes isn't actually straight. So just make sure you have got it at 3. Take it as 1 by 1. Okay, so I'm just going to cut that down to 3. So I just noticed that it's not quite 3, and that might just be that my cardstock isn't actually quite straight. And that happens, so don't worry about that with your cardstock. Just caught that at the end. There you go. Okay, so I do want them all to be the same size, so they're now all those are the same size, and just to take a little bit. So always just check that these are really good ways of just checking that you have done it right. If your card is very thin like this is now, and your blade is not sharp, or you've got something stuck in it, you will get this tearing. So always check that your blade is actually this bit. Always clean that out, the groove. Okay, so anyway, that that is what your waterfall card, this is how you make it. Okay, so then what you're going to do is bend all those score lines. So we're just taking our score lines and bending them over. Okay, this is so easy to make but so effective. Okay, so now what we've got, we've already got the bases of our book. Okay, we've got We've got these elements, and we've also got these elements. Okay, so that gives us a really good starting point for our book. Okay, now just to show you what you need to do for your bit here to adhere these into your book. So if you are thinking about that, let me just show you. These bits here, now it depends on how you want to do it, these bits here are what hold your book in the bigger book. So what this is all it is an A4 sheet again. And we know that this tab, or the spine of these books, I'll just measure that again for you, is 2 inches wide. We just want to make this slightly smaller than 2 inches scored. So what I do, this is just my way of doing it, is I put a little bend in, or you can score it, show you, just at the top. Okay, you can put a pencil mark in, you can do whatever you like. Okay, and then what I'm going to do, because I think it's important to know for you to, I'm going to lose that little bit of flour, it's important for you to know how we do the inside bit. Okay, so that bit, and it will come a little bit more apparent when I stick it down, is just less than, we just want it to be less than 2 inches. Okay, so if we put 1 inch on either side of that, that would give us a score mark for 2 inches of that centre point. Okay, so the easiest way to do that is to get that to the centre point, or wherever your centre point is, and then put 1/2 inch score. So I know that the middle of this is there. So let me put a little mark there. Okay, and all I'm doing, so I know you can't see it, here is the half of the card. So this is the half of the card, and I'm going 1/2 inch from that score mark. Okay, make your paper isn't always straight, I have to add. So we've done 1/2 on that side, and then 1/2 on the other. Now you could make this thicker or thinner, but it is your spine that is dictating now. Now say if you made your album with the bigger spine, the middle spine bit, then you could actually have a good 5 inch spine. So again, that's another option you can do with the journal. Okay, so I don't want to move it too much. And then do 1/2 inch. So all I'm doing is I'm making this will fit this in. We will stick it to there and it will fit it in. So this is just one way of doing it. Now you can make this spine up to 7 and 5, because I've got it on the 6th line. It is up to you how wide you want it to be. So let me just do mine this way. Okay, so this would give you, let me show you. This would give you basically a 1 inch spine, because what I've done is taken the centre point and gone 1/2 inch on either side. Now if you wanted to, you could go 1 inch on either side, but you can't go any more than that because your spine dictates that. Okay, so that's why I'm not doing that. So let me show you how this works. So fold it at those 1/2 inch that you've done on either side of the middle. Let me get you the raw one because it's much easier to show you. And then what happens, you see this. So again, using an A4 sheet, folding it in half, getting your centre point, and then doing 1/2 inch from either side. And then this will sit within your book here. And then to this, you either Velcro on your book, yeah, or you put magnets on it, and what that will do is close. And then what you can do is put another layer of paper on there. You could put notes here to say what this album is all about. You could have it velcroed so it comes out. So on ours, we've got two types. Oops, I'm getting this stuck again. Come here, little one. So on this side, I've just got the A4 here, yeah, and then I've stuck bits onto it. So hopefully you can see that. All that is what we've just made, and the same for this side. All it is we've just got more cardstock stuck on it. Okay, so those are those two bits there. So I've taught you how to make the double album in the first place. Okay, there you go. So I've shown you how to do that. I've now shown you how to do the inside of your album to make sure all your albums can be held within the double album. So that's this page. Okay, I'm teaching you all the basics, but we will be doing online workshops to teach you other ways to use these albums as well. But this is just for the ones that you've bought. Okay, so we've got that. Now coming back to the A5 quad, let's come back to that now. We have it all here, okay? And this is the one we started on the Create and Craft show. Now what you could do is, if you really wanted to make this longer, is adhere this to here. Okay, and this would carry on. Now if I'd left that ½ inch extra on there, or the other bit, that would become exactly the same size throughout. But that's not what we're doing today. We're just showing you first how to do a quad. Okay? So let's show you. So I'm going to leave this one, but I'm going to go back to the one we started in the show to show you how to do another page so that you can decorate yours how you want to. So I'm going to have a page coming from this side, okay? Now if it's coming from that side, that's going to be here, like this, okay? I might turn mine around because I've got a bit of a ridge on that side. There we go. Doesn't matter really. There you go. So that's going to sit here, okay? And that's going to go there. So always be aware that when you're closing your pages, they do actually close. Okay? So that's the things that you have to be aware of. Now, if you felt it was a bit long or anything, you can always cut these down. This gives you a really good template. So I'm going to do another page, but I'm going to do it this way. So it sort of mirror images this page here, but it's going to be this way. So let's have a look at how I would go about that. So let me find some cardstock that I think I'm going to use just in this bit here. Right, I've got all mine here. Sorry, I'm just rummaging through my box to see what we've got. Okay, let's see. Now you can use any of the papers. It doesn't matter. It's really up to you. And that's the hardest bit, is choosing what you want to do. Now I know that the papers for me work. So sometimes I don't even have to think about it. So sometimes it's just about me seeing something that I really like. Obviously ours are our working papers that I end up using, because obviously we get a lot of, for us we have to get samples and stuff made. So for example, if I wanted to, I could run this across here. Okay, let me or I could use this one where it's got the the 4 here and then the pocket here. So there's so many different ways of using it. Let me cut these down because these are actually the A4. So let me show you with the A4 first, because these are just my working copies. So again, you can on the USB you can print these out to whatever size you want, however you want to. So let's have a look. We'll cut the long short bit off so we can fit it into our machine. Yours are already cut, so don't worry about yours. These are just our working ones that we print, and we have a look, see if they're okay. That's all these are. Looking at where my bleed lines are and stuff like that. Okay, so you'll already have yours cut, so you don't even have to do this bit. But I just want to show you how to do a few of the other bits. Now it's up to you what designs you want to go with, how you want to look at it. The best way for you to do it is to go through your papers and have a look at the story you want to tell, or your photographs if you're doing a photo based on photographs. So I've got all this now. I'll cut it out. And I'm just thinking what I want to do. Now I quite like the look of the little fella here, but I'm also looking, I love this side as well. So it's seeing, so now I've already, if you have a look at that, you could easily put a cut in here, which you can tell, and then get this bit out of here, but still get that bit out of there. And that's exactly what we're going to do. So then I can still make a choice. Okay, so I'm going to actually cut here. That's my choice to do. Okay, so I've got this side if I want to use it, this side if I want to use it, or even this one. Now I really like this, and somehow I'm trying to work out how can I put this into my book, move this up, into my book, but keep this imagery so that I've got it. So there's lots and lots of different ways of doing this. And you can see I didn't cut that straight. So what I'm going to do is I sort of want to follow this edge as well. So let's have a look what we can do. So I'm going to cut mine here. Okay, on this bit I'm going to cut it there. It's up to you how you want to do it. If you just want to mat and layer onto here, then just measure whatever you've decided to do yours at. These are always about 14.2 centimetres, or they're about 5.7 inches, because this is an A5. So just as you would be doing a card, you can mat and layer. Okay, so all I'm going to do here, firstly, no, I don't need to make it straight really, because I know what I'm doing. So I'm going to cut, I'm going to mark mine because I want it to be a certain amount. So 14.2 centimetres, I'm actually going to mark mine just so that I know what I'm doing, but I know what I'm doing. Okay, so I've got a good idea. So I want this poppy, basically. That's what I'm doing. So I'm going to go like this, and I'm going to take this. Okay? And I know that this is going to sit here. Okay? So that's one part of it. Now, you can make your backgrounds using other papers. You don't have to use these papers. You can use background papers. You can print something off your key, USB key as well if you've purchased a USB key. So again, I've got some cardstock here which I might want to use, and I like making it a little bit different as well. So you might want to use some cardstock that you might like. That might work for you. Okay, so let's have a look. I'm just thinking out loud at the moment. So do I want a blue one in there? Blue's a bit too bright for me. So do I want something else? Do I even want to have this on this? Would I prefer this on black cardstock? And those are the questions you're going to be asking yourself. I've got a little bit of yellow paper here. Would that look nice on yellow? And it probably would, because you've got that yellow flower. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of yellow to mat and layer my piece of work. So I'm trying to find the yellowest bit I can without losing too much. So can you see how already we can make this pop? So that's how I do it. Now I'm just going to show you how to do a page. I really want to have the yellow bit, so what I'm going to do, This is me again. I will fold this. This is the Becky said marbled paper, so if you do want this, it's available on the website, and it's the one I've used in the rustic pad as well, and it comes in that kit. I've obviously got something stuck on my thing again, so let me just cut that through. Yeah, I had something stuck again. This is where I say always clean your trimmer every time you use it, unless you like clean. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to mat and layer this onto the yellow bit. So I don't want all of it to be yellow. I just want it to be matte and layered yellow. Okay, but I also want to follow this pocket. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in and I'm going to follow that pocket bit. And again, this just adds more. Now I want you to keep every single scrap, because in part 3 I'm going to be showing you what to do with your envelopes and how to make vellum envelopes. So, you know, look at that. Already done for you. So what I want to now do is, I want to put that, I think I'm going to put mine onto here, like that. So this blade is a bit better for this. Okay, and all I'm doing is I'm going to cut this. It's good to have an even surface when you cut, not like Dali. Okay, and it doesn't matter. I'm just doing a little border around this. I just want that, really want that yellow page to the paper to be a focal point for me. So there you go. You could be, I will be showing you a mixed media version of this journal. We will be doing that as a workshop. So if anybody wants to do that. So there's lots of different things I'm going to be showing you with the stamps and the stencils and all of that. Take a little bit of this edge off. So at home you can, obviously everybody does their measuring differently. Everybody has different cardstock. So everybody can do it differently. So this is where I mean. So if you've got anything stuck in there, remove it, because you'll get into trouble like I do. Okay, and it happens. Because obviously if you're cutting slithers, it's going to happen. Okay, so all we're doing is we want to mat and layer this onto here. I think I'll go with this side. And then we'll do a little bit on this side. So it's just a matter of how you want this to look. It doesn't matter. You're not going to waste anything. All you're doing is you're creating this. And again, you can all do your measurements differently. I just do things by eye. It's just my style. Yeah. Sometimes it comes out too small and then I wonder why I did that. But mostly, I'm usually very, very lucky. Okay, so I'm really happy with that. So now what I want to do is probably mat and layer that. Now I have got a little bit of turquoise there if I wanted to. So do you see how you can then start to make things pop? Yeah? So we could even, this is where it all starts to, getting all your scraps out, matching everything. So if we wanted to, so I'll cut that bit off. We could put this now as a pocket here onto this bit. Oh, let me move it up. That's no good, is it, showing you that? Not seen anything. Okay, so again, doesn't that brighten it up? Just makes it look like a totally different card. Okay, so you could be doing something like that. You could take a little bit more muted cardstock and put that behind it. Totally changes it again. You could take some of your paper that you've got here and say, well, actually, I do want to, I'll use this side, and what I'll do is I'll put this in here, and then I'll put this bit here. So again, you've got all these different options that you can be going with. So let's see what else we can be doing. what other bits have we got? So it's just about having a look at your papers, having a look at what you can be doing. Let me take another one. It's got all your little embellishments on. I can go through those as well with you. I'm just having a look what sheet I want to use. That's all I'm doing. Without. It's so hard. Because it's like everything. That's why it's good to have the USB as well. Okay, it's my A4 I'm going through. I like using the A4. And I like using the bigger pages and stuff like that. It just depends. See, now that. And this here. So can you see? Sorry, I'm sort of off scale, aren't I? Should we do it? So if I do it this way, I'm not going to waste any of the other image. So that's another way to look at your papers. Or do we take this one? I know it's got the envelopes on the back seat. That's why you need to buy either more than one or some of the CDs. And I'm just going, I don't want to cut that, I don't want to cut that. And I know that feeling because that's me as well. Okay. I've got an idea. So this is something that I'm doing, and you're thinking, that's good, that's not good, that's good. So what I'm going to do on this one is I'm going to take this bit here, but then I think I don't want to get rid of them little fellas, and then put this bit here. And I look on the other side and see what am I losing. But that's why the USB is so good. See, look, I'm struggling myself. So let me see another one. I'll know when I see it. Okay, I'm going to go with this one. I know. You're probably thinking, oh my God. Right, I know. So, I know that these are all 14.2. Because I know that, and I know they're A5. So, what I always do is measure your... I'll move this up. I've got so much on my table already, look at me. So measure this, so it's 14, so what I want to do is just do a little bit less than that. So, and lengthwise, it's an A4 anyway, but it's been obviously the other way. It's just 20.8 roughly. So let's cut this in. So again, measure what you've made as your base and use that as your template. So I'm looking what I'm going to lose, I'm not going to lose. So I know that my cardstock is 14. So I'm going to go with 13.8 centimetres, okay? Now, if I do that, that will be the wrong way. Okay? So we have to go this way. See, this is how you learn. So we're going to go, because it's 14, my black cardstock is 14 centimetres. I am now going in at 13.8, just to give me enough of a little border. Let's see if we've done this right. So this will now sit exactly here. Okay? Now, I don't want to lose these little fellas. So I'm going to do a little bit of cheating. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cheat by taking this bit out, again running it along that bit. This is how you can cheat to get your papers to go further. Get the USB. I mean, I could be printing as many as I like because I've got these on file, but that's not the point. I also have to show you, for those who don't have the USB, of what we can be doing. So that's going to go like this here, okay? Now I've still got this bit now, haven't I? That's beautiful. Right, let's go back to our little pocket. Okay, now what we can do is we can actually move our pocket the other way. Okay, we can then put this here. Now, I can even make my pocket a little bit smaller. Now, I could actually cut this down a little bit smaller. Let's do that. Because what I'm trying to do here, and what I'm going to do, and it's not wasting anything, and it's making the most of your papers, is to look at all these different things you can be doing to add a little bit more dimension to your work, but at the same time, can you see that? Look at them. Oh, look at this. All you can see is paper, can't you? Because I love the papers. Let's move all this out of the way. We're only doing one page here. Look at the mess I've made. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay, still making a lot of mess. Let me move this bit out of the way. I love these tags as well. I have to show you those as well. Okay, so now what we've got, what have I done? I've nearly done another hour already. Is this will go here. Now this can either go underneath, and you could leave this like this as a page. Do you see what I mean? So now already, and you could just put a sentiment here. So then you don't have to use this. But I quite like that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually make a pocket out of that. Okay? Or what you could do, another way you could do this, is to, let me show you, is to make a pocket out of this and then stick this on top, and then you've got even a longer pocket, so you can do that. Shall we do that? Let me show you how to do that. Oh, longer, nearly cut it, I'm just going to cut it. Let's make a little pocket. And these are all the things I'm going to keep showing you on Facebook Lives. Pip's going to be showing you all these different techniques. So, right, so we don't want it to be too short because you're going to then see these edges. So let's just have a look at how we want to do that. So we'll stick this bit here, and then we'll just do 1/2 inch on the bottom. And you don't have to do it like this, but I'm going to do it like this because I think it will look nicer. Okay, so let's go back to this one page. Now you can edge all your pages, you can do whatever you want. You can make these bright, you can make these non-bright. Okay, so this is what this bit's going to look like for me. So let's stick this down first. So I'm going to just use my glue. And if you ever find, all it will do is put little seal on the top. You can leave the lid off all day. Nothing happens to this glue. And all we're going to do is do some squiggly bits of glue. It's the beauty of it. And then all we're doing is putting this down. Okay. There we go. So just move it up so it's in line with your other ones. If you ever feel wet glue is very forgiving, so if you lift it again reasonably quickly, you can make sure it is lined up correctly. Whereas if you have tape or something, then that's not going to happen. Just make sure you've got it both ways. And sometimes it's just eyeballing it to get it right. And you know, sometimes when you get a piece of paper, it doesn't matter how many times you do it, it just doesn't want to know. I think I've got one of those today. There we go. Quite happy with that. Okay, so that's the first bit I've got down. Now I said I was going to make a little pocket out of this one. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to run that here, and then just run a little bit down the sides here. Okay, and then that is now going to cover that little bit that I've cut, because I really wanted to save that other piece of paper. There's your little pocket. Now if you've got dies or border dies and you want to cut lace patterns into these, cut them. You can do whatever you like. Now you could tuck that into there. See what I mean? Just tuck it and that would be it. But what I want to do is I might want to do that, because I quite like that with the yellow. Debatable though, isn't it? Look, now you think, oh no, what shall I do? So then you've got this bit here you could have just stuck on. Too many things. But I'm going to keep this open because I've got a pocket down there and I've got another pocket here now. So you've actually got 2 pockets there now. So just do the edges, 3 edges, always the one at the 2 at the side and the 1 at the bottom if you're creating a little slimline pocket. Okay, so this is now going to sit about here. Okay, look how nice that's already looking. And it's not difficult to do these things. I think what happens is we overthink it. So that is a really nice, simple but effective page. Now if you wanted to, obviously this might be a little bit big, but you could easily now put a really nice photo in there. So we could mat and layer a sheet of paper. Let's have a look what we've got. So we could even do it on here. So we could say, okay, this is going to be 4 by 6 inches to put a photograph on. Yeah, just make it a little bit bigger. So one of the other things I love to do, this is just me, is just go tear your pages like this. This is different cardstock, so you can do it with this cardstock paper. Yeah? So then that gives you all these raw edges as well. So if you wanted to, it sort of gives you, I'll do the other side a little bit. It gives you this really nice finish. And I quite like that as well. So again, these are just different things that you could be doing. It doesn't have to be all perfect. This is what I'm trying to say. So we could do, obviously we'd cut that a little bit thinner. And then that could easily go in there. That's just an idea. Or what we do is we take that same little pocket here. So we've got the same sort of look. Or we take a little bit of this, or we take a little bit of this, and you can make a note on it. So that would be quite nice, and then have that tucked in. Yeah? You see what I mean? So all of a sudden, you're getting all these different ideas. So what we could do, let's have a look, see if this pocket will fit, because this will give us an idea. Yeah, so that makes it really nice. Now if you wanted to put one in the bottom as well, you could, and then put another one here. But I really like this look. Yeah. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to run that like that on there. See? And then I've got this really nice border on the side as well. And I really like that. Okay, so what I tend to do is I just put a little score mark roughly where I want to cut it, and then I cut away. Please take your time at home, not like Daddy does. Okay, so I know roughly I need to be about here. Okay, so now I'm going to put this, because I like it because it says date, and I'm just going to put that roughly there. Okay, now what I'm going to do on this one is I'm just going to get my rounded punch, and I'm just going to round it. Okay, so all I'm doing is putting a little round, because I think it will look nice with a little rounded. It's one of my crocodiles, really easy to do. Now if you can't do this, you can do this freehand. You're good with scissors. Okay, and I quite like this because it sort of makes like a little tag, but it also makes a great place if you want to put your photographs. Okay, now look at that. Already looks really, really lovely and professional. Ooh. Trigger happy, as always. So, don't do what I just did. Oops-a-daisy. I want to leave that side. I want it to be a little bit more like an index. So I like the idea. I've got a little bit here. Right, don't do what I just did. So get yourself a baby wipe. Let me just get one baby wipe, not like what I just did. That's getting around behind me. And all you have to do is just take that and wipe that away. All dry, so don't worry, all that smells lovely. It's nice on the uncoated stock, I can assure you. So then this now can go in here. Okay, and I really like that. And then you can punch a hole in this, and then that will look really nice. If you wanted to put a magnet here, or one of your metal embellishments, whatever you wanted to do. But can you see how quick that was to do? It's just so pretty. So now let's put one of these on, because I said I would, and show you how to do that. Okay, so this would sit, in my case, I'm going to sit it like this. Okay, so we've probably got bits that we can use that we've just done. So I think this would look nice, just on the front here. Okay, so I know that I only have to take a little bit off just there. And again, this will match the square within that. Okay, so this is the beauty of this. I want to keep that little scrap because I'm going to be showing you in the third hour of the third part. Okay, so it's up to you again, and again I've got a date bit there which I really like, and kind of trim a little bit more off that, just tiny weeny bit, and then I will be happy. There you go, 14. And to be honest with you, you can get it, do yourself some templates. That's what I always say. You do some templates, stick them down, and you'll have a really good idea. So all I've used so far is one, I haven't actually used all of it, one A4 sheet, and I still have ample left. So a few of you asked, how many books can we make? Well, it's quite a few actually. You need the base, that's all you need. Okay, so I'm happy, I'm really happy with that now. Okay, so that's going to become that bit here. Now you know, like we've kept these little torn bits or whatever, that can easily sit at the top, even like that, and you wouldn't know that it wasn't actually die cut to be like that. So why don't we do that? Why don't we put this piece here? I'm just going to do that by eyeball. Keep this little piece, please do not lose it. And then I'm just going to put that as a little border at the top. You just straighten that a little bit. And obviously at home, measure, measure, and measure. Do I want it to be this way? Picks that yellow up a bit more. But then I also like this one. Picks the lines up. I think I'm going to go with this side. And you'll get a feel of what you like and what you don't like. So don't worry about that. And then what I'm going to do is put that there. So what we can do here now, ignore that bit I've just done, is you can start to put your photographs into these. Okay, so there's one piece there. Now, so I want to use everything I've got. So what I'm going to do with this one is I'm only going to use this way so that I can make this into a sideward pocket. Okay, and I know if I trim it roughly there, I will be able to get that on there. Okay, and this is the beauty of these papers. Now I could put it this way, or I could put it this way, and I'm going to put it this way. And you could edge all these, you could mat and layer them all again, you could use them with other papers. There's just so many colour palettes in there. I mean, you could do a whole red album if you wanted to with these. Okay. Oh, I said I was going to make that into a pocket, but I've just stuck it down. Too late. But that's not a problem. That's never a problem when you do something like that. And then you could add another bit or whatever. Now you could put two photos on here and it would look absolutely beautiful. So can you see, oh, sorry, I'm so off the page, aren't I? How we're doing, yeah? Now what you could do is you could use a stripe of this to run down. And I'm just thinking about it at the moment, whether I want to match it to the background on this side when the book is open. Okay. And then make it into a little pocket. I'm not sure yet. So this is the sort of things you can come back to. Okay, so I know this is going to go here. It's going to go all the way up to the top, and it's going to open this way as well. I'll do that bit in a bit. Okay, so we've even got, like, when you've even got thin strips, you can go with thin strips, and that matches. Actually, that's the bit I cut off here. So we'll have a look at that in a minute. Okay, so what we want here now is, again, we want to probably put something in the background, as usual. So let's look for another background paper. That's going to be a struggle, isn't it? Look, we've got this as well. Let's see what we can do with this. That looks nice there. Actually, I might run that in the middle there, but only at the top and the bottom, and then we can tuck something into it. And I'm off this thing again. Okay, let's have a nosy, a nice nosy at what we've got that we could cut up again. And that would look nice, would match and resemble and bring in other bits of it. Okay. So quite like that. So I think I could do that. So I'm going to do that cheat thing again. So I'm going to take it, because I want to keep those flowers. So I'm just going to cut it across. And I could have used my glue, but I didn't, because I want to keep that. And I know it will be a bit short, but I'm not worried about that. And I know that I'm going to cut that at 13.8, because I know the width is always 13.8. For the matting layering. Don't do as I do, because I don't even put my paper in straight. I don't look well enough, and that's the most of the time. Okay, and again, I'm not worried about this bit at the bottom. So that's my next sheet. For some reason I'm using the A4, because I think you get a lot more on the A5 quad. So I'm going to put this one down first. Hold on, before I do that, I've got a few things I've got to do. Think about before I start to get too carried away. So I'm going to introduce another yellow strip here. But I want to see how that's going to work, because I don't quite like that. So let's see if I bring this down, bring this up, and then bring that up to that side, and it will help me echo. This glass a little bit. It will help me echo that page here. Do you see what I mean now? Balance. Okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually cut this straight. Okay? Don't want to lose anything. That bit's too much of a slide to keep for anybody. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick this piece in first. And try not to just drop it on there like I just did. And there we go. There we go. That's nice and easy. And then I'm going to stick this piece on top. Okay, but before I do that, I'm going to stick this piece into here. Okay, you'll see all this come together in a bit. Okay, so the way you do that is, wherever your tab is, take your glue. Now this could be going either way. I could do it, it's too late now, but I could have done it the other way as well. So we want to go on the bottom of the reverse, roughly in the middle. It's good to be in the middle. Okay. So nice, these papers. I don't know which side to use, so you're probably saying. Okay, so that now will sit here perfectly. Okay, and then that now will open out. Now you can have that opening however you want to. If you prefer to open it like this, then you can open it like that. If you prefer to open it like the other way, then you can open it like this. It's really up to you how you want that, but let's stick it down first, because I don't want it to go walkies while we're doing it. This glue is a miracle. It's called magic glue. Oops, no, through it all again. And just make sure you've got it where you want it. A bit further down. Sometimes you have to pull it. It's uncoated cardstock, so it's quite figure-eight. Okay, I want to move mine a bit along this side. And I'm quite happy with that. So that's my sort of next bit there. Now remember I showed you this piece that actually came off this bit. What I'm going to do, I can mirror that up there, seeing if it would look nice, but I'm not sure. Not sure. So, oh, Paul's bought me a cup of tea. Thank you very much. So we've got this bit here now, again, and now on this bit I'm going to put this because it sort of mirror images that. So let's cut a little bit of this off. Oh, you probably didn't see what I'm talking about. I'm here now. So sometimes it's really, I'm talking to myself, aren't I, because I'm not looking what's on the actual screen. Right, so that can go here. And what I'm going to do with this one is I'm actually only going to glue it at the top and at the bottom, because I'm going to keep this as my band. Okay. And what that means is I can put something into here. Okay, so maybe I'll use something yellow to put something in there to keep that going, yeah? So it's things like that that are going to make this book special. Okay, what I might do is I might actually put a strip of this cardstock here. I don't think I've got a strip here. If I have, I could nick it. Let's see if I've got a long enough strip, because I'm finding that yellow's too much for me and I don't like it, but I want it to be there. So it's always about thinking. Sometimes it doesn't make it quite right, even though you think you've done the right thing. I've got lots of bits, so it's not difficult. So even if I wanted to close it off, I could, because I'll always find a strip, and my papers are designed so that they work so well together. And do you know what? I'm not sure, because I like that yellow and yellow, but I don't like if I did something like this. I'm not sure. Do you know when you're not sure? I'm not sure. Look at this thinner slither. That's where you keep all your slithers, because you have to. And I know when I see it, it'll hit me. But until it doesn't, it won't. So what I think would be good is have a thick piece here, then tapering off to a thin piece. I got an idea. So my little brain has doesn't have many brain waves, but it has some brain waves. So, and I'm thinking what I want to do now, because I want the yellow to show, but I don't want it to show too much. So now I feel already that has helped me balance it a bit more. So whether I do it like this with this, or I take this bit, which will mirror image it here, but take it up to here. See what I mean? So it's, oh gosh, it's so difficult. Do I want to do this? Because that's a bit of the yellows. And the birdie's here. I think that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to cut this here. And you just know. Don't ask me why you know. You just know that you have to do something, but you just don't know what you have to do. And now I feel better. I feel better that is only in that bit. And I'm still debating, so I'm going to cut this again. I just know in my little head, don't ask me, but I just do, that I need to do something. Okay, so that might go here. That might go there. Nope. So I just know that that's not going to work for me either. Can you tell how I know? I don't know. But now the other thing I can do, because I really want that, I want a bit of yellow to show to match the bottom, but I don't want it to be so that I can't see all of it. I'm just thinking, I've got to do something. Can you see how my little brain is working over time? Nope, I don't want that bit. You're all going to think, oh my God, that girl is totally, totally mad. Okay. Nope, it's not there yet. It's going to take me the longest part to do, isn't it? What if I was to... Do you know, I might have to come back to this. That'll be a first. That all matches. Let's have a look if that works for me. Now I've got a bit of yellow staying there, but at the same time I've got this nice border now. So let's give that a go. I just know that what I've got isn't what I want. That's all. As long as I know that, I don't like that that's just yellow there. Now I could bring out the stamps, but I don't want to stamp onto this album because I want to show you. Again, I knew it'd work. There we are. Now it works. I just knew that I needed to do something. Now I've still got the yellow, but it's just poking through, which will match this yellow down here. Okay, so now we've put in this pocket, or this flap. Look at that. Isn't it? Oh, sorry. Showing you nothing here really. That flap. See how easy that is? We've already done 2 pages on this side. Now, when you're looking at ribbon, and I might as well mention this now, when you're looking at the ribbon, let's get some ribbon. Let's grab a piece of ribbon. Just grab which one I get in my hand at the moment. That's the easiest thing to do. Oh, I thought something had fallen off. Oh, poor thing. Okay, So what you do with the ribbon, so this is important, is leave as much as you want to tie on this side. Always leave extra. Then what you'll do is you'll put this bit into here, glue that down, and then you'll stick your page on the top. Then just wrap that around. Do not put it underneath your paper. Just leave it loose. You only want your ribbon to be here, nowhere else. So you only want your ribbon to be at the front, nowhere else. Okay? I'll show you on the other one as well. On the Paris one. The ribbon, let's just touch it about. The ribbon is not attached at the back. The minute you attach this on the back, you will only be able to open your book like this. You will not be able to open your book like this. Okay, now that goes for all your books. Okay, and that's why it is very, very important that you only attach your ribbon. So I've done you 4 pages there already. A little bit of tag, bit of waterfall cards. Now we went through using 2 A4 sheets of paper, gluing them down, taking the excess off. Taught you how to make the 4-inch flaps with a 1/2 inch. So that gives you an idea of how to now make your A5 quad. So looks like an M, and then it's up to you how you want to decorate this. We will be doing lots of more tutorials, online workshops to go through this step by step on Facebook Live. Okay, so don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to invite your friends. We do a lot of free workshops as well, so don't forget to join us in those. So then you've got this beautiful A5 quad that we've worked on today. And obviously, depending on the papers you choose, this is a system, easy system, to make some beautiful albums. So I want to say a big thank you again for joining me, and hopefully you will see how to make this beautiful A4 quad. Thanks a lot, and bye for now.